Now, giving victims a voice. We're taking an in-depth look at what's being done to prevent and investigate sexual assaults on college campuses.
All too often, student rapes go unreported. The reasons vary.
But we've learned that schools, law enforcement, and Rhode Island agencies are united in their determination to change that. It's a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News. 1 in 5 college students will experience sex assault on campus. It's a staggering statistic from a 2014 White House report. And with both of her children in college, it hit home for Rhode Island State Representative Mia Ackerman.
It became personal on another level when other mothers would come to me and tell me the stories of their children experiencing this.
So you were hearing from other parents?
Yes, the ones who are experiencing it right in the trenches and the impact it's having on their children.
Ackerman was one of the people responsible for the creation of a House commission to study sexual assault on college campuses. I dug deeper into the findings just released this May after a year of study. Some of the key recommendations include continuing to educate students on sexual assault and the definition of consent, making sure students know what to do in the event of a sexual assault and the importance of bystander intervention, and respecting and empowering alleged victims by giving them more choices during campus and criminal proceedings. Ackerman tells me colleges and universities across the state have already taken it upon themselves to improve their policies, including Providence College. The school has made sweeping changes after conducting a campus-wide climate survey. Those changes include hiring an investigator specifically for these cases and implementing sex assault education starting right at freshman orientation. The school even created resource stickers explaining to students who to call if this happens to them or someone they know.
We put those on the bathroom stalls all over campus. They're plastered everywhere. We believe that our students have it in them to know, to see when something isn't right.
The school tells me the changes are part of a collective effort with other colleges and universities, as well as law enforcement and victims advocate group Day One.
When we first set up this statewide task force, we thought we might have 3 or 4 colleges represented, and every single college and university in the state wanted to be at the table. A lot of that is due to what's happened in the past 2 years, 3 years. I think it was a wake-up call for colleges and universities everywhere.
Day One Executive Director Peg Langhammer says the evidence is in the numbers. Just this month, Brown University came in at the top of a federal campus safety list of schools with the most reports of rape. Brown had 43, tied for first with the University of Connecticut.
So any increase in reporting to us indicates students believing they can come forward and get the support they need.
In fact, Brown was one of the first schools in the state to take action and change its policies regarding sexual assaults, announcing changes in January of 2015, including reducing the time and traumatic nature of the university hearing process. Representative Ackerman's hope is that Rhode Island will set the example for schools across the country on giving victims a voice. More now on a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News, giving victims a voice.
At 5, we brought you the findings of a House commission on sexual assaults, which, among many things, made recommendations on how to increase reporting among victims.
New at 6, how schools, police, and state organizations are working together to make sure they have the answers to the most commonly asked questions from victims. Will my parents find out? Will anyone believe me? Do I have to go to the hospital? Those are just some of the many questions overwhelming a sex assault victim as they try to cope and figure out, what do I do now? The House Commission on Sexual Assaults found organizations involved in the process, schools, police, and victims advocates, didn't have a uniform response to victims' frequently asked questions. Sometimes they didn't know how to respond at all. Here's a look at some of those questions and the answers aimed at eliminating the fear and uncertainty that so often causes victims not to report their assault. Will my parents find out if I file a police report? Not if you're over 18, but they may be able to find your name in court records, as can anyone who makes a public records request. I'm concerned that no one will believe me. Can I trust that the police will treat my report seriously? The police will always treat your report seriously, but they will have to ask you questions that may be uncomfortable. Do I need health insurance? The hospital can't turn you away if you don't have insurance, but to cover your medical costs, you may qualify for victim compensation funds. The majority of the answers on this site also encourage victims to contact a Day One advocate to help them through the process, with links to the organization included multiple times throughout the page. The commission put this FAQ sheet together to try and provide victims with all the information, resources, and help they might need. And you can find it all on our website, WPRI.com.